Mike, I'm looking at the first 10 games, and I don't think I'm being pie in the sky or being a homer.
You will be favored in at least 8, and it might be a push game at New England.
Well, Mike, and we should be at least 7-3, if not 8-2. Okay, after the first 10 games, we should be. I think we'd be 8-2. That's not unreasonable, or 7-3. I don't want to say like, oh, we're 9-1 because I look at the first 6 games. I don't know. We should be 6-0, 5-1, worst case scenario. But you just look at again. I go by the old observation about my quarterback versus your quarterback and where they're at. And I like what we have in Derek Carr over like playing at Minnesota. No, I don't put Derek Carr at Minnesota. I don't put Derek Carr over Kirk Cousins because as of late, you know how well he's played against the Saints. Look when we played England, the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence up and coming where he's at. I think that's good.
That to me looks the most difficult game when you go through 1 through 10 playing the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mike,
with the talent that they have.
I'm like, I got goosebumps. I'm like thinking, like I'm looking at this whole schedule, and I've watched a lot of Saints football or witnessed a lot of Saints football as a youngster playing and then evaluating where they're at. Mike, this might be the easiest damn schedule in Saints history. And I'm not talking about the 21st century, in Saints history and looking at the expectations. The reason why I say this, don't we have for sure, or we should have, a top 10 defense, if not top 5? Okay? And you playing these young quarterbacks. Well, you got to give the young quarterbacks the business. You can't let them trick you. Mike, if you top defense, a young quarterback in this day and age in NFL should not beat you. Should not have, because, Mike, they should be like, okay, I think I'm doing this, or they kind of overwhelmed. Now, that's why you want to play them the earlier the better. That's why I look Carolina. I don't know. Is Andy Dalton going to play week 2, September 18th? Are you going to put Bryce Young out there? We should kick his ass. I'm just telling you, a young guy should not have immediate success. And you think, well, what are you talking about? Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, Pat Mahomes. He's the greatest quarterback right now, right? He didn't even play the first year. They went with Alex Smith. Why? Because that was the right thing to do. Now you might say, well, Jordan Love. They had patience with him. But I don't know if Jordan Love's going to work out. I mean, he might work. He might be unbelievable. We might play him September 21st or 24th at Green Bay. You might go, whoa, Jordan Love is like the second coming of Aaron Rodgers. You don't know. But I'm just thinking right now on paper, we have the advantage, Derek Carr, over all these young quarterbacks.
Bob, too, and then you go to week 6 at Houston with a possibility of another rookie quarterback. Week 8, Indianapolis Colts. Guess what? You might see Anthony Richardson, and then the Bears in week 9 with Justin Fields and a really young roster. Man, that first 10 games, again, the one that jumps out is week 7 against Jacksonville. Because I know who I'm playing against, and that's Trevor Lawrence.
And you looked how they have, the Coach Peterson, Doug Peterson, how they've gotten better and how they weren't overwhelmed on the back end of the season playing in the postseason. Look at the great comeback they had. So, no, I have, Mike, I even have that, okay, so let's say, even though we hosted them Thursday Night Football, I have that as a loss. I still, even at Minnesota, a loss, we're still 8-2 or 7-3. It's not that far-fetched. Mike, I'd be extremely disappointed if this season, more than the end of the season, we don't get off to a fast start.
I agree with that.
Now,
totally.
and the point being is that also, what do we have to have from the get-go and build upon? I don't care if Cam Jordan or DeMario Davis, how old they are, like 34 or whatever now, but we still expecting big things from them, right? To play at a Pro Bowl, All-Pro level, that being Cam Jordan and DeMario Davis. And you look at our cornerbacks. Now, you got to have luck with health and all that. Now, again, I think it's going to be, I like our secondary. Can we stop the run and all that?
And can you run the ball better than you did a year ago?
Right, but Mike, the point I'm bringing up, how we going to establish things from the get-go. Our defense can't take a step back. They have to be what we've been in the previous seasons, top 10 defense, if not a top 5. Then you got to be opportunistic. whether it's Derek Carr, whatever, you can't fumble, intercept. We're on the plus side. Okay, so let's say we had a mistake. Okay, then you got to get 2 back. Okay, how can we be +1, +2? How can we be maybe come like week 11 or week 12, like around Thanksgiving? I like where our bye is coming about. And week 12, we're going at Atlanta. Okay, can we be, and don't dig ourselves a hole, can we be like +8 instead of like -4 in the turnover margin? That's the difference whether you win or lose when you look at, they might be saying, the Saints aren't that good. We should be able to beat them. But I'm telling you, where we at right now, I am so optimistic about where we're at. Mike, and look, I think right now I'm just looking at this. I was coming out, and we didn't even finish the schedule. I think for sure double-digit wins.
Bob, I would be very disappointed if this team did not get double-digit wins the way this schedule is laid out.
Mike, I'm telling you, this is the weakest schedule in Saints history. And, we always look at it because we've always done this. And I know every year there's always the meat of the schedule. There ain't no damn meat. It ain't no like, what we're going to do for this month or this 4 or 5 week stretch. Mike, there's no meat of the schedule. Shame on the Saints if we don't take advantage of this season. I can tell you right now, I know Derek Carr is a new quarterback coming on board. I think he's top 12. For sure he's in the top echelon of quarterbacks. I like the stability there. Know who that nation? We should have high expectations. And if we don't and we don't win, we should boo like the damn Celtics got booed with the Boston fans when they didn't live up to expectations. And listen, all of this, I'm looking at it. I'm like almost want to pinch myself, and I'm looking at like 11-7, or Mike. Now think about this. Are 12-5? What? I'm like 11-7, 12-5, and that's going 4-2 in the NFC South. I'm even looking at 11-7, 12-5, and maybe losing one game, sweeping Tampa Bay, losing one game to Atlanta or Carolina, and we're 4-2. But somehow we beat Atlanta to close out the season January 7th. And Mike, 11-7 or 12-5. Are you kidding me? And then Mike even put in this, and it's not far-fetched. That's why I said no meat of the schedule, easiest schedule I've seen in Saints history. If the stars are really aligned, can you imagine the Saints going 13-4? After what we've witnessed as of late, the transition from Sean Payton, Drew Brees to Dennis Allen, and where are we at now with Derek Carr? Mike, I'm telling you, that is not now. I know I looked out on a pick mage in the Kentucky Derby, but I'm telling you, if all of a sudden 13-4 came about, that means everybody stayed healthy, the stars were aligned, and the Saints had that kind of season.